It's so fun to be here, and I made the brave decision to live demo most of it, so I hope it works. And to start with, I wanted to say it's so fun to be talking after Daniel, not just because we have a competition and I can't let that bastard win for how many times we speak here, but also because I feel like him and I are sort of accessibility soulmates. So we both like thinking outside the box and thinking creatively about creating solution that actually works for people in real life. So I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my talk that he gave, and that. All right. So, are there any good bands from Malawi? And so today I work as an accessibility expert at a company called Useit. But this story begins a long time ago at KTH. So actually 11 years ago, almost exactly. Me and my friends, Daniel, Moa and Anna, we were studying a course, the best course I ever took. If you're at KTH, please take information visualization. And we had an assignment to create some sort of interactive visualization using open data. And we all really liked music. So we had a quite simple idea. The idea was to take open data from Last.fm. Who here have an account on Last.fm? Yay! So if you're not familiar, it's a service that logs everything that you listen to, so you can get statistics about the artist and the music that you listen to. And our idea was to take this data, apply it to a world map, and then try to guess where each artist you've ever listened to comes from based on user-generated tags. And this became Explr FM that we created in about maybe 5 weeks. And that was the extent of my presentation. Thank you, thank you. So I wanted to do the next part of this live and see if it works. And I apologize because the screen isn't very good, so I've tried to increase the font size a little bit. But this is the landing page, and the tagline is, "Ever wonder where the artists you listen to come from?" And I will enter my Last.fm username, and let's go explore. So normally this takes a lot longer, but everything is cached here. But this is my personal musical world map. So the darker colors are more artists per country. And then I can use this service to sort of browse around and see where the music I've listened to comes from. So if we start by going to Sweden, it's zoomed in and you see that it grabs all the artists that is tagged with either Sweden, Sverige, Swedish, Svensk, etc. So we have a list of those types of synonyms and demonyms. And then we can go into each of these artists, and due to the resolution, it's a little bit cramped. And please don't try this on your mobile phone, because this was in 2014 and it was before mobile first design, so don't blame me. But we have data, and you can read description about the artist, and you can see who your top artists are. And you can also go to countries that you haven't ever listened to, like Sudan. And we try to sort of recommend artists from these countries that the user hasn't listened to. So you can try to listen to Marsimba it's Sudanese. Maybe it's good, I don't know, but you can try to find it. And this means that we've had, because this took off, so we had a lot of users. We have about 150,000 users over this time, and we still, 11 years later, have about 50 people a day who come to this map and want to see how the musical world map looks like. So we have people coming back and listening to more music and see if they are filling in more pieces of their map, basically. And I can zoom in and I can use the mouse to move around. And we can look for really small, difficult to find countries like the Faroe Islands, maybe. And we can see I have listened 21 songs from Teitur from Faroe Islands. It's indie folk, probably nice. And I can also open Spotify and listen to something from Faroe Islands. If I want to expand my horizons. It's a pop in Faroese. Pretty good. So this is, we try to encourage users to expand their horizons and see more of the world in their music taste. And we also have, we did some accessibility things. We tried to use colors for the map that wasn't completely bad. And we added a lot of different colors. So if you like green, if you like orange, if you like dark mode. I think the first one might be more easy to read in this demo, so we'll stick with that. But then, for the 10-year anniversary of this service, I wanted to make it accessible. Because when I started with this, I had no idea what accessibility was. I didn't know a button from a link. I've never used keyboard focus anywhere, and I had no idea what I was doing. So this code was horrible and not accessible from the start. But for the 10-year anniversary last year, I wanted to make this accessible. And the challenge was, how the hell do you make something like this accessible? Do you have any suggestions? Start from scratch. Hopefully not. But my first idea was to search. Because even if you can't move around on the map, maybe you can search and find what you're looking for. So for my first demo, I want to give you the accessible search. So I am tabbing, I have a search button, I can also use a shortcut. And we can search for an artist or a country. And let's search for Trinidad and Tobago. I really like Calypso. So this is actually helpful because this country would have been really difficult for me to even find visually, but now I can search for it. So I can search for it, open it, I can tab here, and I can find the top artist from Trinidad, which is Lord Kitchener. And it works pretty good. If I know what I'm looking for, I can find what I'm looking for. And let's close this. So, and I can even search for artists directly. So if I'm unsure where an artist comes from, and I've heard about this great artist, Kai. Have you heard about it? No? It's pretty new, exciting. Here, 2 Scrabbles. I think you can tell I don't have any kids. So I can go to an artist directly and immediately focus on that and open it and start reading about Kai, even without using the mouse at all here. So let's close it. And I was really proud about this, and I posted it in an accessibility Slack. And people said, that's not accessible. They said that I want to be able to explore the map. I mean, it's even in the name of your service. And I don't want to just search for things. It's a good thing to have it, but it's not an equivalent function for the visual graphical map that I can click on. And besides, there are other ways that might be more easy for many people to find the country that they're looking for. So my second idea was to add a list. So I can tab to it here. And then we have a list of all the data that is in this map, but in a different form. So I can open a list of countries, and I can rank the countries that I have based on how many artists I've listened to. So you can see United States, United Kingdom, Sweden, Canada. And I can tab down here and go down the list and find the country with that I'm looking for. And I can even sort by the continent. So if I want to see my most listened to African country, by most artists, it appears to be Nigeria. But if we go by Scrabbles, which means played songs, you can see it's Mali. And what about Mali? Mali is nice. And they have a really cool band called Tinariwen that I really recommend. It's sort of desert blues type thing. So that is another way that might suit some users who don't like the graphical interface of clicking and zooming through the map to have this in a list form that you can also apply to other maps. And is that accessible enough? No, it isn't. Because I haven't talked about the explore part. I mean, it's in the name, and we want to be able to move around and explore this map and see it and zoom in and see how it works. So I had added a keyboard mode to this map as well. So I can press the plus key here, And I can zoom in, and I can zoom in, and I can use the arrow keys to move around. Very nice. And when I zoom in far enough, I activate keyboard mode. And this is a mode where I assign a number to each of the visible countries currently seen on the screen. So I can then move around, and to be honest, I didn't come up with this. It's part of Google Maps, if you've ever seen it. So you can zoom into Google Maps and use a similar type of solution to select things on the map. But I can move around, and we have numbers for each country, and I can zoom in. So if I now want to go to, let's say, maybe Italy, 3, and I can press 3, and then we are at Italy again, and I can get some really nice movie music from Ennio Morricone. And I can continue with this all around the world, and even find those small, really difficult to find countries, like maybe Singapore is difficult to find. So there we have Singapore, number 2, and I can find my music or recommendations from Singapore, only using the keyboard. I haven't used the mouse at all here. And then for the trickiest demo, because of course I want this to work for my friends who can't see you, who are using screen readers. So I've tried to make this keyboard mode also accessible using screen readers, and I will try to demo this for you, and we'll see how it goes. And that's a nice boat. Okay, so this is, now we are in Windows, and I will test this using the screen reader NVDA, which I'm starting now, and we hope the sound is okay. Come on.
Color the world. Google Chrome.
Okay.
Main landmark. Application. Fummels world map graphic.
Okay. We'll see. We had some delay before when I tried
application.
this.
Fummels world map graphic.
I have a horrible delay right now. Okay. So I can press the key L, and we wait.
Keyboard mode is not active right now. Zoom in to at least level 7 to activate.
Okay. We'll see if this gets really annoying. I have a video that I can play instead. But it says keyboard mode is not active right now. Zoom into at least level 7 to activate. So I will try to zoom in.
Zoom in level 1
plus zoom in level 1. So it's giving me feedback for everything I do. So every key press gets feedback from the screen reader to inform me what happened and where I'm at. So I will press plus a couple more times.
Zoom in level 1 plus zoom in level 3 plus zoom in level 3 plus zoom in level 4 plus zoom in level 5 plus zoom in level 7. 11 countries visible. Press L to list.
Okay, so now when keyboard mode is active, it tells me every time I press the L key the exact countries that I'm looking at. So let's press L.
1 Angola, 2 artists, 2 Benin, 4 artists, 3 Central African Republic, 0 artists, 4 Cameroon, 3 artists, 5 DR Congo, 5 artists, 6.
So if I couldn't see the map, and my idea was actually to do this with the screen off, but I'm too cowardly to do that. But I would guess that based on the countries it's reading to me, I can understand where I'm at in the world, and then I can use my geographical knowledge to understand where to go to find Malawi and see if we have any good bands from Malawi. So we need to go south and to the east to find Malawi from here. So let's try that. I press right key now.
Panning east, 12 countries visible. Press L to list. Panning east, 12 countries visible. Press L to list.
So it says panning east, I'm going east, and it says the number of countries currently visible, and I can press L again to get the new list of countries that I'm currently looking at. But let's go south.
Panning south 12 countries panning south 13 countries visible. Press L to list. L. 1. Malawi.
Oh,
1 artists. 2. Burundi.
Okay.
1 artists.
Okay.
3.
I heard 1 Malawi, and I don't need to listen, I can skim. So I heard Malawi, let's go to Malawi.
1. Opened Malawi.
Okay.
Use tab key to find scroblet artists.
So the thing is, with this type of really complex interaction, it's really important to have good constant feedback to what's happening to the screen reader, and that requires good screen reader for UX. I mean UX for screen readers. You need to have an idea for what the user is interested in and how you can inform them what actually happened right now. So I can press tab to find my artist from Malawi.
LL1. Out of grouping Explr.fm controls grouping. Music from Malawi region last.fm tag graphic number Malawi link.
Okay, so I'm in the region music from Malawi, and I can press tab.
Your top artists tagged with Malawi or Malawian, list with one item the very best 74 scrobbles button.
This must obviously be the very best music that Malawi has to offer. And I activated it. It should say toggle button pressed. Maybe not. And I can press down arrow.
Toggle button pressed 74 scrobbles.
Okay. And then I can read about this artist. And I've done this completely without being able to see.
Heading level 2 the very best. List with 5 items African.
Yeah, so then you have the tags and then you have the artist description. So that way, I mean, maps are complex, but they don't have to be impossible for screen reader users. And for some users, it might be enough to have the search or to have the list functionality. But the key to make something that is complex, to make it accessible, is to offer multiple alternative ways of doing the same thing. And the same thing applies to, for instance, a date picker. If it's really difficult for some users to use the calendar, then of course provide a text field where they can type in the date instead. And that's the foundation of any kind of advanced accessibility for advanced UX, because you need to provide multiple alternatives. And with that, no, just kidding, I have one more demo. So let's start again, and we will do it without screen reader. So if you're unable to distinguish between these colors, you might still want to get a sense for like how many artists do you have for a certain part of the world. And like Daniel showed with the graph that gave a pitch depending on the movement of the graph, my idea was to give a pitch based on the density of artists that you're currently looking at. So let's try it. I will go to keyboard mode, zoom in, and we are in Africa and we have some artists here. I will press A for audio feedback. Oh, this is not going to be, it's much nicer on my computer. But now when I move around, and let's move to countries with more plays. And Sweden. And United Kingdom. And let's maybe move across the Atlantic. And let's go to Canada. And let's stop in maybe the US. Thank you very much. That was it for me. Thanks.